Have you ever wondered why? As we get a little older, certain things that used to be easy suddenly become a bit more challenging. Perhaps you felt that spark, that vital energy, isn't quite what it used to be, especially when it comes to intimacy. It's a reality many men over 60 silently face, a frustration that can chip away at confidence and connection. And what if I told you that a simple, everyday choice you make first thing in the morning, something you might even consider healthy, could actually be contributing to this very issue? It's a surprising truth, isn't it? We often think we're doing our bodies a favor by reaching for certain foods. But sometimes, the very things we believe are beneficial can have unintended consequences, especially as our bodies change with age. Many men find themselves struggling with issues like reduced stamina, flagging energy, and yes, even difficulties maintaining those important moments of intimacy. It's a painful reality that can feel isolating, but it doesn't have to define your life. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on something truly eye-opening. We're going to explore 7 common fruits that, while generally healthy, might actually be undermining your body's ability to maintain strong, healthy erections, particularly when eaten for breakfast as you get older. These aren't bad fruits, not at all. But it's about how and when we consume them, and how our bodies process them at this stage of life. Stay with me until the very end, because I promise you, there's something truly surprising waiting for you that could change your mornings and your evenings for the better. Now, let's dive right into the heart of the matter and uncover the first couple of fruits that, for men over 60, might be subtly hindering your performance and vitality, especially when consumed as that crucial first meal of the day. Remember, this isn't about villainizing any food. It's about understanding how our bodies, particularly our vascular systems, change with age, and how certain breakfast choices can impact that delicate balance. The first fruit we need to talk about, and this might shock some of you because it's a breakfast staple for many, is the very ripe banana. Now, bananas are packed with potassium and other good stuff. Absolutely, they're convenient, they're filling, and they seem like a healthy start to the day. But here's the catch. Especially with a very ripe banana, its sugar content is quite high. And that sugar is released into your bloodstream very quickly. When you eat a very ripe banana for breakfast, especially on an empty stomach, it can cause a significant and rapid spike in your blood sugar. Think about it this way. Your body's energy system is like a delicate thermostat. When you throw a lot of quick-release sugar into it first thing in the morning, it's like cranking the heat up too fast. Your pancreas has to rush to produce insulin to bring that sugar down. Over time, if this becomes a regular pattern, these frequent blood sugar spikes and subsequent crashes, your body can start to develop what's called insulin resistance. This means your cells become less responsive to insulin, and your blood sugar levels stay elevated for longer. Now, what does this have to do with erections? You ask everything. Healthy erections rely on healthy blood vessels. They depend on good blood flow, specifically the smooth, efficient widening of the arteries that supply blood to the penis. When you have chronically high blood sugar, it's like a silent sandpaper rubbing against the delicate inner lining of your blood vessels, what we call the endothelium. This damage, over years, can make your arteries less flexible, narrower, and less capable of expanding properly to allow that vital rush of blood when you need it most. It's a condition known as endothelial dysfunction, and it's a major contributor to erectile difficulties. So, while a ripe banana might give you a quick energy boost, the long-term metabolic impact of that sugar spike, day after day, can silently contribute to issues that directly affect your ability to perform. It's not the banana itself that's bad, but the consistent, morning sugar surge it delivers when eaten without much else to slow it down. It's about being mindful of your body's unique needs now that you're over 60. Moving on to our second surprising fruit, particularly when consumed for breakfast, are dates, especially in larger quantities. These wonderfully sweet, Chewy fruits are a powerhouse of natural sugars. They're often hailed for their fiber and mineral content, and in moderation, they certainly have their place. However, when it comes to starting your day, especially if you're eating more than just one or two, dates present a very similar challenge to the very ripe banana, but often on an even grander scale. A handful of dates, for instance, can deliver an astonishing amount of concentrated natural sugar. This isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're a young athlete burning through calories, but for a man over 60 whose metabolism might be a little slower, and whose body might be more prone to insulin resistance, this becomes a significant concern, just like the banana. A breakfast of dates can lead to a very rapid and substantial rise in blood sugar. Imagine pouring a lot of fuel into an engine that's designed to run on a steady, slower drip. It creates a chaotic surge, and your body has to work overtime to manage it. This constant fluctuation, these peaks and troughs in blood sugar, place a considerable strain on your body's metabolic system. Over time, this sustained metabolic stress can contribute to systemic inflammation and further exacerbate insulin resistance. And as we just discussed, insulin resistance and chronic inflammation are silent destroyers of blood vessel health. They compromise the integrity and flexibility of your arteries, making it harder for your body to achieve and maintain robust blood flow to all areas, including the one most crucial for erections. So, while dates are natural and have fiber, the sheer volume of sugar they deliver, especially at breakfast when your body is transitioning from a fasting state, can be counterproductive to your long-term vascular health. It's not about avoiding them entirely, but rethinking their role as a primary breakfast item, especially if you're aiming to safeguard your erectile function and overall vitality as you age. Understanding this distinction is key to making choices that truly support your health in every dimension. Let's continue our journey through these seemingly innocent breakfast choices that, for men over 60, might be quietly impacting your erections. Our next two fruits build on the principles we've already discussed, emphasizing the importance of blood sugar management and vascular health. The third fruit category to reconsider for your morning meal, particularly in larger amounts, is dried cranberries or other mixed dried fruits. Now, a common misconception is that dried fruit is just as good as fresh fruit, or even better because it's concentrated. And in some ways, it is, as it retains many of the vitamins and minerals. However, the drying process removes almost all of the water, leaving behind a highly concentrated source of sugar and calories. Think of it this way: to get the nutritional equivalent of a cup of fresh grapes, you'd only need a small handful of raisins, but that handful of raisins packs the sugar content of a much larger portion of fresh fruit. And often, we tend to eat more dried fruit than we realize, simply because it's so small and easy to munch on. When you start your day with a bowl of oatmeal laden with dried cranberries, or snack on a big handful of dried mixed fruit, you're essentially giving your body a highly concentrated sugar bomb. This leads to an even more rapid and intense blood sugar spike than some fresh fruits, without the bulk and water content that fresh fruit provides to slow down digestion. As we've explored, these consistent morning sugar surges contribute significantly to insulin resistance and widespread inflammation throughout your body. For men over 60, whose blood vessels might already be experiencing some age-related wear and tear, adding this kind of stress every morning can accelerate the damage to the endothelium, that critical inner lining of your arteries. When the endothelium is compromised, it loses its ability to produce nitric oxide, a crucial molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen, allowing blood to flow freely. Without enough nitric oxide, achieving and maintaining a strong erection becomes incredibly difficult. So, while a few dried berries might be fine as an occasional treat, making them a regular, substantial part of your breakfast can be a silent sabotaging factor for your intimate health. It's about recognizing the hidden sugar density in these seemingly healthy options. Next up, let's turn our attention to something you might grab from a can in your pantry: canned fruit in heavy syrup. This one might seem obvious to some, but it's surprising how often people still reach for it. thinking it's a quick and easy way to get their fruit intake. The problem here isn't just the fruit itself, but what it's swimming in. Canned fruit in heavy syrup is precisely what it sounds like. Fruit that has been preserved in a thick, sugary solution. This means you're not just getting the natural sugars from the fruit, but a significant dose of added refined sugars, often in the form of corn syrup or high fructose corn syrup. These added sugars are particularly insidious because they contribute to a rapid and pronounced blood sugar spike, far more so than natural sugars in whole fruit. And unlike whole fruit, where fiber helps to moderate sugar absorption, canned fruit often has less fiber, making the sugar hit even more direct. Consuming these added sugars regularly, especially first thing in the morning when your body is more sensitive to insulin, can have a profoundly negative impact on your metabolic health. It drives up inflammation, contributes to weight gain around the middle, and significantly increases your risk of developing insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes, conditions that are notorious for damaging blood vessels throughout the body, including those essential for erectile function. Your vascular system is a delicate network, and bombarding it with excessive added sugars from sources like canned fruit and syrup is like clogging up the pipes. Over time, this leads to stiffening and narrowing of the arteries, impairing blood flow and making it incredibly challenging for your body to achieve and maintain robust blood flow to all areas, including the one most crucial for erections. Opting for fresh or frozen fruit without added sugars is a far better choice to protect your vascular health and, by extension, your erections. It truly makes a difference to avoid these hidden sugar traps in your morning routine. We're now moving into the final 3 fruits that, when eaten for breakfast, especially after 60, might be inadvertently putting a damper on your vitality and intimate health. These examples continue to highlight the critical role of blood sugar control and vascular integrity. The 5th fruit category to approach with caution at breakfast, especially if you're generous with your portions, is large servings of grapes. Grapes are sweet, juicy, and refreshing, and they contain beneficial antioxidants. However, they are also surprisingly high in natural sugars. A small bunch might be fine, but a large bowl of grapes for breakfast can quickly add up to a significant sugar load. Similar to some of the other fruits we've discussed, when you consume a substantial quantity of grapes first thing in the morning, the natural sugars, primarily glucose and fructose, are rapidly absorbed into your bloodstream. This can lead to a considerable spike in blood sugar, putting your body's insulin response system under strain. While grapes are certainly a healthy food, the sheer volume of sugar from a large serving, without enough protein or healthy fats to buffer its absorption, can contribute to the same issues we've been highlighting: insulin resistance, inflammation, and damage to the delicate lining of your blood vessels. Remember, healthy blood vessels are the cornerstone of strong erections. They need to be flexible and efficient to allow for robust blood flow. Consistently exposing them to high levels of sugar can compromise this flexibility and lead to hardening of the arteries over time, which directly impacts your ability to achieve and maintain an erection. It's not about avoiding grapes altogether, but about mindful portion control at breakfast and perhaps pairing them with something that slows down sugar absorption, like a handful of nuts or a spoonful of Greek yogurt. It's about smart choices, not deprivation. Our 6th fruit for consideration, particularly when very ripe or consumed in juice form, is pineapple. Pineapple is tropical, delicious, and contains bromelain, an enzyme known for its anti-inflammatory properties. That sounds great, doesn't it? But again, context is everything, especially for men over 60 concerned about their intimate health. Very ripe pineapple, or even more so, pineapple juice, is quite high in natural sugars. When you drink a glass of pineapple juice, or eat a large, very ripe pineapple slice for breakfast, you're essentially sending a concentrated wave of sugar into your system with very little fiber to slow it down. This can lead to a rapid and substantial increase in blood sugar, prompting a strong insulin response. Just like with the other fruits, If this becomes a regular morning habit, it contributes to the cycle of blood sugar dysregulation, insulin resistance, and systemic inflammation. The sustained impact of these metabolic issues can directly affect your vascular health. Imagine your body's vascular system as a finely tuned irrigation network. When it's constantly battling inflammation and sugar overload, the pipes can become less flexible and more prone to blockages, impeding the essential blood flow required for a healthy erection. While pineapple in moderation as part of a balanced meal is fine, relying on it as a primary breakfast item, especially in its most sugary forms, might be inadvertently working against your goals for robust, intimate health. Finally, let's talk about the seventh fruit, especially when consumed in large, very ripe portions: mango. Mangoes are wonderfully sweet, packed with vitamins, and truly a delight. However, a very ripe mango, especially a large one, is a significant source of natural sugars. For many, it's a tempting breakfast choice, but its high sugar content means it can contribute to the very same blood sugar spikes that we've been discussing throughout this video. Picture this: you slice open a luscious, very ripe mango and enjoy a generous serving as your morning meal. That delightful sweetness translates into a rapid influx of glucose into your bloodstream. For men over 60, whose bodies may not handle sugar as efficiently as they once did, this can trigger a powerful insulin response. If this becomes a regular breakfast pattern, it perpetuates the cycle of insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and endothelial damage. The consequences of this repeated sugar assault on your vascular system are profound. Over time, the blood vessels, including the tiny ones crucial for erectile function, lose their elasticity and become less responsive. This means the smooth muscle cells that need to relax and allow blood to rush in for an erection simply don't function as effectively. So, while mangoes are undeniably nutritious, enjoying them as a large, standalone breakfast item every day might be silently undermining your body's ability to maintain that crucial blood flow for intimacy. It's about moderation and balance, and considering what else you pair your fruit with. So, we've explored 7 fruits: very ripe bananas, dates in quantity, dried cranberries, canned fruit and syrup, large servings of grapes, very ripe pineapple, and large portions of very ripe mango that, while generally healthy, can, for men over 60, present a challenge to erectile function when eaten regularly for breakfast due to their impact on blood sugar and vascular health. The key takeaway isn't to banish these fruits forever, but to understand their impact and make smarter choices. Remember, small changes can make a truly monumental difference to your health and happiness, especially as you navigate this wonderful stage of life. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge to make informed decisions that support your overall well-being, including your intimate health. You have the power to influence your body's vitality every single morning with the choices you make. I truly hope this information has been enlightening for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences. Have you noticed any changes in your energy or intimate health based on your breakfast choices? Share your insights in the comments below. Your wisdom could help countless others. If you found this video helpful and want to see more content that empowers you to live your best life at every age, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us reach more people who can benefit from this kind of practical, life-changing advice. Keep living your best life, vibrant and full of vitality, every single day.